Hey everyone, how you doing? In this tutorial, like I promised, I'm going to show you how to use MINIMAP and how to basically change it to your map and also implement it into other widgets, because at the moment, as you know, it's kind of dependent on this master HUD, which I would recommend you to use, but obviously sometimes it cannot be avoided to use kind of like other HUDs where you implement it. Okay. So first of all, I'm going to show you how to change the map basically that is shown as the background of the minimap. As you can see here, we see it from the top. And this is actually really easy to use, to change. First of all, what you need is you open this a bit. We go to our utility folder and then into minimap. And as you can see here, if you see the scene, there's a camera pointing down from the top. Is a scene capture 2D component. You can simply find this if you go here to search actors and then scene capture 2D. You just drag it inside and you have it here. And then there's just two things that are very important to note. The first one is the location should be at 0, 0 for the X and Y. And Z, I think it's not important, but I always do it a little bit, put it up a little bit just for good measure. The next thing that's important is to say orthographic instead of perspective. And then here you have the author width, which is basically defines how much is captured from the middle of from the camera, you know. And this is just so you know, if you go here into our interface, as you can see here, we have MINIMAP where we plug in some values, and these the width is basically the dimension. So let's say if in this case we take 5,000. These 5,000 would now in the interface be the dimensions. Okay, so here we have to plug in now 5,000. Next thing you want to do is you can see here texture target. And if you go to the utility and minimap folder, as you can see here, render target minimap, that is simply what you plug in here. Okay. That's really all you need to do. Next is we go into the render target minimap. We just open this and here it will basically always be rendered whatever this camera sees. And what you can do here is, for example, change the texture size. At the moment it's 1024, so 1K. But obviously if you have a big map, you want to bump this up to maybe 2K or even 4K if you have a very big map. So we leave this as 1K. We go out here because we don't need to do anything anymore here. What we need to do now is click on it, right click, and then asset actions and export. And we just export it to a folder. Let's say here interface HUD, and we call this, here's the old one, and we call this just version 2. Okay, we just save it. Next thing you want to do, you open Photoshop or GIMP. If you don't have Photoshop, you can simply download GIMP. It's free and does the same thing. We just open it, and what we're gonna do is we go here, and here we have our minimap target v2. We drag it in, and at the moment it's a 32-bit. And what you need to know, you need to go to image. I don't know, GIMP must be it's something similar, I guess. You go to mode and you say 8-bit. You just change it. It's 32 at the moment. You just change it to 8-bit. And you click just simply OK. As you can see, the colors change a little bit. And what you can do now is, here's basically now your map from the top view, how the camera displays it. Okay, that means here you can do now all kinds of stuff. You can make the map look old or new or sci-fi or whatever. You can even like go just with a brush. You know, now it's red, so we see a bit better. You can outline certain stuff. Now it's very, let's go back a bit. It's a bit blurry. Let's make this a bit more sharp. Hardness here. And what you can do, for example, you can outline certain things by just painting over it. Just like a quick demonstration, so quick and dirty. like this. Now this is outlined if you want it to be, you know. Next things you do, you just say save as. You save it in the same folder as maybe a PNG, and you call this minimap v2, right? You just save it. Okay. Now it takes a bit to save. Longer than I thought. Okay, now it's saved. And now all you do is you go here. I have created a folder for you. It's advisable to kind of always have this folder, save your maps into this folder so you always know where they are. And one thing I forgot to do, what you can do just to keep track, if you have many maps, and as you remember, you have to, you have to plug in the dimensions for the minimap to display everything at the right position. So what I would recommend to you is, now here we are, this is V2. What you do is you type in D for dimensions and then 5000, because we know the dimension is 5000. So in case you have later on many different maps with different dimensions, you can always see in the texture itself what dimensions you need to plug in. Okay, so we just save this, and now what we do is we select this and we plug it into the texture map. Okay, we save this, and now if we go in here, as you can see, there's the red outline and everything is at the right location. And everything works just fine. And this is really everything you need to do to get your own map viewed from the top into the minimap. And now what you can do, of course, here with a zoom, what you can do is you say, oh, I want it a bit closer. You change the value. Basically, 1 is basically you know, as close as possible. And 0.2 is very far away. So we can maybe see how 0.2 looks. As you can see here, everything is very, very far. No, it's actually closer. Did I say the wrong way? Let me check. Oh yeah, okay, it's different. It's different. So basically 1, everything as close to 1 is far away, and the more closer it is to 0, that the closer the minimap is to the player. Okay, so we save this, and as you can hear, everything works. We have a new map with a different dimension, and it's very, very easy to do. Okay, so next thing is we have at the moment the minimap into this HUD, which is master HUD, which is the widget you should use to collect all your stuff with my pack, but of course it can sometimes not be avoided. So I show you now how to do that with to implement the minimap into every widget you want. So first thing you do is you create a new widget. So here, user interface widget, and we just call this main HUD. Okay, very easy. And if we open it, as you can see, it's totally empty. We save everything, and now what you want to do, you need to do 3 things basically. First is we go into utility and our interface, and here you can see master HUD, which is basically it collects the widget that is used to collect everything else. And here's the master HUD, but here you need to search now for the main HUD, so the widget you created new, and change it to the variable. So we compile this and it works. Next thing what you want to do, as you remember, if we go to our begin play, here we add our main widget to our viewport. Here of course you also need to change now to the main HUD, the new HUD we created. We delete this variable because now we need to create a new variable for our new main HUD. So variable, promote to variable. Let's go here, and this we call main HUD. Right here it shows. Next thing we want to do, we go to the interface and plug in, of course, our new, okay, they call both main HUD, our new variable. So here, right? We plug just in the new variable and everything here in the character should be done now. So, but now let's take a look first what happens if we put something in our main, in our new interface without doing the next step, okay? So we say here MINIMAP, we drop this in here, right? And you will see it will work except the component of point of interest. So plain editor, as you can see, the minimap still works. So as long as you don't use point of interests for the minimap, you can put it into any widget you want. But of course, the point of interest component is very, very powerful. So we also want to be able to use that. Okay, so as you can see here, we have a few errors and they are all related to the point of interest. So what we're going to do is we go to Minimap and here's a component point of interest. We open that, and just to save some time, we also go now to our widgets, modules, Minimap dependent, and point of interest. These two opened up. Now what we need to do is if we go through here, you will already see a red error. And what's happened now is because basically it searches where the minimap is located. And because we changed the variable, it's not valid anymore. So what we need to do is we need to first right click on the master HUD and say refresh nodes. So this is fixed because, you know, it just updates. But here it's still wrong and it doesn't work. So what we need to do is we delete this, drag out again, and we just search minimap. And here, get minimap. We just go in here and here because it's still the same minimap, so it searches for the same variables inside the minimap. Now if we compile this and save it, everything should work. And basically the same thing we do with point of interest component. So you can see if we go in here, we have the same problem. It's just the reference needs to be updated. So what we're gonna do, we refresh. So we just here go refresh nodes. We go in here and also search the minimap. Here it is. And we plug it back in. We compile. And now if we go in here, it should work. Yep. Here are the points of interest again on our minimap. Okay, perfect. And that's really everything you need to do in case you decide to use another widget to collect everything for your viewport. Okay. Okay, we have here some kind of issue. Okay, no, it's nothing with the minimap. It's the same thing I explained in the last tutorial. It's simply because we don't have a notification here. Notification, we delete this. Because we don't have a notification in our new main HUD, it kind of will not work correctly and it will set out some errors. So it's nothing to do with the minimap itself. Okay, so we start this here, still works everything, we go out, no errors. Okay, so this is how you use the minimap. I think it's fairly straightforward and easy to use. And yeah, have fun with my pack, and I hope this helped.